Welcome. This is Damon Nelson, and this is Geek Out Fridays. And we're in week 6 of this series. And today is all about pro graphic tips. And I'm going to show you a few of the tools that I use to make mock-ups, make my graphic images, make my thumbnails. And what you're seeing right here is one of the thumbnails I made this morning, Geek Out Fridays. In fact, thanks to Chris Signs, who asked me on Messenger if we're having a geek out, and I was right in the middle of doing my graphic. So if everybody's ready to get started, I'm going to go ahead. And I know some of the people on the call have a special coffee mug they're probably drinking out of, and I'm drinking the same thing, out of the Beta Teen Vid Penguin cup. So if you hear me pause for a second, I've got my coffee, I'm ready to go. Okay, so today what I'm gonna do is basically I'm gonna share some of the tools I'm using, and we're just gonna go through kind of just how I use them. And if y'all have any tips or suggestions as we're going along, just drop them in the chat and I'll share them with everybody on the call. So I'm gonna move some screens over here. Okay, we're going to start out with Canva today. Everybody should have a copy of Canva. They have a free version, and you can find it at canva.com. And I bought the paid version. And the reason the paid version gives you a few extra little features like folders and different template sets. But more importantly, it gives you a lot more images, premium images that you don't have to pay for. So if I go to all your designs, you can see I use this all the time. This is probably the most used tool that I use on a daily basis. I'm always making some type of graphic, because the main thing with graphics is you want people to notice you. I could write the best copy in the world, but I'm going to get a lot less clicks than if I have a good graphic to go with it. And if you'll notice, I do a lot with graphics. And the cool thing with this is you can stack them up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you. Here's how my chiropractor images, just so you can kind of see. Here's what I do with chiropractor. This first slide, when I'm making an image pack for RSSmasher or anything that I'm doing, even the Vid Penguin 2 coming up, is I will go in and create an image, and then I'll put a background behind it. And if you're using elements, you can come down here to shapes. So I would put a shape, and then I put text on there. And then I just start creating images straight from there. But here's the trick with Canva. In fact, let me do this. So I'm going to delete this one. Canva does have a limit on the Pro plan where you can go up to 100 images. So I'm going to insert a new sheet and show you how I'm able to make a whole bunch of these. Let me just delete a few of them here, get some room. And then I'm just going to, what I do, this is what you start with on Canva. And then to make an image pack, I just drag this one grid right here, and it's an auto sizing grid. And you'll see whenever you're doing auto sizing, the beauty about it is you can toss in any image and it fits it into whatever size frame that you have. So as an example, let's go in here to, we're on chiropractor, so I'll just put chiropractor. And got to spell it right. Get started here, chiropractor. Okay, so I've got a whole set of chiropractor images up and running, and I come over here to this little filter right here. So you have free, this is the free version. And if I just check free, I'll show you there's not a lot in chiropractor. But if I go to the premium, the pro version here, hit apply filters. Now, they used to have where you could have paid images in here, and I don't even see those. So they may have just temporarily during COVID, they may not even have the charge images on there. So anyway, if I want to drag an image over, I can drag it over just like that. And the auto sizer fits it in there automatically for me. But if I don't like the exact setting, what I'll do is I'll click on it, double click on it. And in fact, let me change my screen here real quick so you can see the entire drag handles on it. I'll go to 50%. Okay, so if you want to change it on an auto size grid, just double click it and you can change it around. You can move it up. And this is, they put a line set in here, and this is the rule of thirds. And if you're doing any type of graphic, you want to try to line it up on your grid. See, what I'm doing it right now is I'm going to try to set this spine up on that bottom grid along with what he's pointing to right in here. So this is part of the rule of thirds, is you want to try to use the intersections here, 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 and here as the focal point for your image. So your image is not just centered. It provides more interest to a person's eyes if it's using those intersections. Okay? So this is kind of what I do with graphics. And this is why I like using Canva. And let's go ahead and copy some more. I'll just delete that. And so when you get your grid set up, what you would do is put your grid in there, your auto sizing grid. And there's all types of grids that you can use in there. You can put in fact, I'll delete that. See all. So you can auto size like that. Let's see what happens here is I'll pull one over. In fact, I want the back on there because the back showed up. And let's put this one down here and this one over there. See how easy it is to create. This is a 3-pack of images. I mean, it's very, very easy to create something like that with Canva using these auto sizing grids. And I'll just delete the whole thing. Come back to my elements again, go back to the standard auto size, and just very easy to use this. So anyway, that's what I want to kind of point out on your setup on using Canva. Now, let's go in and talk about a few other things that I use Canva for. Is if I don't know the exact size, which I used to know these like the Facebook post, 940 by 788. So I'll come over here to Canva if I have to know a size. A lot of people are asking me, what size is a YouTube thumbnail? Well, I actually know that one, 1280 by 720. What size is that? Should you do an Instagram post, 1080 by 1080? What about stories? So I'll come over here and I can look up the standard sizing right here, like a Facebook ad, 1200 by 628. Well, you could do that, or you could just start here. I needed to make some Facebook ads. So it's already sized perfectly for a Facebook ad. And they give you some great suggestions to put in here. So it's a Saturday sale, and you drag that over. It's auto-sized, and you could change that to the RSSmasher store. And you could put a coupon code or whatever you want on there. And I wouldn't run an ad like this, but this is a good looking ad right here. And so it's going to copy whatever you just had in there to set it up here. So let's, I'll do something here. I do have this is one of my auto blogs here. Hamburgers. And then you can just kind of play around with this a little bit. And what I would typically do is just resize this. and it's in a group right now. So you would ungroup it, off click it, and you could resize it. Put it right here, and it's got some lineup. So I want to center it, and I want to kind of position it center in the background. And if I don't like that color, I can come over here, change that to red, change it to blue. And here's what you play with. This is the transparency button of that background. So you can kind of change that around. And now that's a good looking ad. It's ready to go. And let's say that I wanted to do some split test variations of this one ad right here. So here's how I would do it, is copy it. So I've got a different version, and I'm going to come up here and make this green. And I'm going to change the image out. So I've selected just the image. You can see by that. So I'm going to delete that and bring over a new photo, and let's put in hamburger. Okay, and this looks like something that I would use in an image. And it doesn't have an auto sizer on there, so I'll just drag the drag handles. And let's put it up one more. There we go. Okay, that looks pretty decent. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to position it. I'm going to set it backwards, so it's all the way at the back. And I would keep this and this, and maybe I might move them up here. And you hold down your select key, and you can just kind of move it around. And that looks pretty good. Okay, so I would save this as two images that I would split test. And typically when I'm running Facebook ads, I'll make maybe 5 to 6 images, and I'll split test the images. In fact, this is a really good looking one for hamburgers. So I'm just going to copy that one more time. Oops, wrong button. You can add notes if you want. Let's copy that, and let's change the image. So I'm just going to put that image in there. Okay, that is a good looking hamburger right there. Okay, so I'll put that in there. And that looks okay. I would change the color maybe. Let's give it black. Yeah. Today. So this would be a 3 image set that I would use in my Facebook paid ads. Okay, so it's real easy to do. And the other thing I want to show you is you can actually change the transparency of that main image just by clicking here. This is where you could copy the style if you want to copy that style of the font or the transparency mode. But here you can download. You could go straight to a Facebook page. Okay, I think my speakers are cut out on me here. Hang on one second, guys. I've got to change my speaker setup here. There we go. Sorry about that. My headphones cut out on me. Okay, so you can share a link. You can do a presentation. You could set this up like a PowerPoint show. You could go straight to Twitter. And when you see the little crown, that's the premium version or the pro version. So you could do an animation with this. Now, it's not very fancy animation, but it's some transitions, some fades, and some zoom and pans in there. But you can see where you can send it to a lot of different places. Typically, download it, either PNG or a JPEG. I like to have everything on the hard drive first before I start working. Now, you can also select all the pages that you want, or you can select an individual page. Very easy to do. So this is, this is one of my most used tools here. It is very easy to use, and every week they come out with something new that they're adding to it. Like let me go back into photos and let's look at the effects. They have a background remover also. I'm going to take this one out. I'll just delete that. Come in here to this image and it's going to try to remove the background. Sometimes it does a pretty decent job of it, but instead of you having to do it yourself, this one will do it. Plus it has all these really interesting effects that you can do. There you go. There you go. Okay. So it removed everything and you have a white background. And so if you want to, you can come in here and put another background on it. Let's do that. And I think I just lost my image there. Just hit Control Z and you're back. But you can also, you got filter effects in here. So you can change the look and feel of this. Let's go down to this one. Let's make it a little retro here. And maybe even black and white. So you can get some really great effects with it. And you can change the intensity down here. Let's give it. So without even hitting the keyboard, there's a lot of options that you can do with Canva. And, just play around with it. You can adjust the color or the saturation. So sometimes, let's go down to this one. And let's play with the contrast. So that will kind of blur it out just a little bit. But you do have a blur feature. And this will work for certain things where you want to maybe put an image on top of it. So let's see here. We'll put in here man. And I think there's a cutout in there. Okay, so we'll put him down here. See how easy that is to do. And that's a pretty decent picture. So if you want somebody, a spokesperson or somebody, you can by blurring the background, it does give them depth of field like you would on a camera. So I would maybe take that blur. Let's go back to adjust. Blur, maybe take it down just a little bit. Okay, that's probably pretty decent. And you can put a vignette on there, which will darken the corners a little bit. And so maybe put him right here. Okay, pretty easy to use. Any questions on Canva? This should be your go-to tool. I used to use Adobe and Photoshop and Fireworks. Well, by the time I cranked up Photoshop on my slow computer back then, using Canva, I'd already have 3 or 4 versions of it, of an image set. Now there's certain things Photoshop probably could do better, but for quick marketing graphics, this is one of my favorite go-tos. Okay, and let's see. Any questions to this point? I'm about to switch tools to show you some other cool stuff. Okay. So I'm going to close this. And of course, you can always rename it and save it. And then you come back to home and you're ready to go. And if you need inspiration, sometimes I want to start with something and then come in and modify it. So like Instagram posts. I'm going to make some Instagram posts for Memorial Day. Well, it's a lot easier to start right here than start from scratch. And if you want to see some just variations, you can just hit add new page. I'm over here to Memorial Day. And we might want to try this one out. And with templates, I believe they auto size automatically. And we might want to try this one out. Okay. So you get, you know, there's 3 right there, and it's just a matter of click and drag. So this may be boring for some. For me, as a marketer, I geek out on images. And if I'm going to spend any time, I spend time doing my research, and I spend time on my graphics and my videos. You can make animations and GIFs off of Canva. There's simple ones, but there's other tools that you could use on that. So let's go to, here's one of my favorite mock-up tools. And this is actually a PC-based tool that I'm about to show you. And it's called Smart Mockups. And I don't know the exact cost of this software anymore. I bought a lifetime package a long time ago for like $97. I think it might have even been an AppSumo deal is how I got it. But this makes the cleanest mock-ups I've ever seen for physical products, for smartphones, desktop, laptop. And I guarantee you, if you've been following me or Wayne, you've seen a lot of these mock-ups that I've used. So here's what I do is I use these when Facebook tells me my 20%, I've got 20% too much text on there. Or if I need to take a boring graphic and then put it into something that looks good. So what I would do is use something like this. And this is kind of telling a story because what I'm looking at, he's got coffee and he's got a wooden keyboard. I think that's kind of interesting. He's got a leather mouse pad and he's on this old-timey, looks like a part of a ship or something. So my eyes go to the curiosity level of this. It's an interesting scene setup. Now I'm going to come in here and load a file. And let's get something out here. Susan said she uses Canva Pro for all graphics, never posted directly in any social account. You can, I'm just not, I don't post there anyway. I like it to be on my hard drive. And Adrian, can you insert a CTA link? You can insert an image of a button or a call to action or anything like that, but it's on an image, so you would use that image as the call to action. Okay, and what I'm going to do is bring a graphic over. So just I got some graphics in here. Pull some over real quick here. Okay, I did a special promotion on Fade to Black, which is one of the best video courses out there. And so this is the image, and it wasn't exact. I think it's 1280 by 720. Of course, the launch ended in March. This is a Joey Zotto. If you ever want to get really good at making videos and making commercials, this is the guy to follow right here. So I'm just using my drag bars. You can resize, and then I'm going to crop and continue. And you got all these right here, so you can center it, left justify, right justify, and so on. Okay, see how clean that looks? So now I have an image that can go out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crop it. And this is the cool thing about this is if you're going to do an Instagram post, you need a 1x1. If you're going to YouTube or Facebook, you could use a 16:9, or you could use a 4:3. This is the old standard, but this would work as a Facebook post. So I would use this for an ad, Instagram, or you can just keep the original. So let's see what it looks like as a square image. Pretty decent. I mean, it's not bad. Now, when you do 16:9, you lose all the effect. So 4:3, it's okay. Go back here. and I may just want to stick with the original image. So I'll do that and hit save image. And then you could select the size. So I'm just going to do a medium image, and I'm going to save it. This is how easy. I have not touched the keyboard. It's a matter of a few clicks, I'm done. And that's, you know, if you've been following me, is I like to do 3 clicks and you're done and move on to something else. Let's see, what else? The person I was talking about is Joey Zoto. And it's Fade to Black. He's the Andy Jenkins of 2020. And so anyway, you could see desktops, you could do smartphones, laptops, multiple devices. So if you're telling a story, this is a great way to tell a story. Put one screen here, one screen, a different image set here and a different image set here of maybe the application or your client. You know, you could have somebody talking about your client. Like this is a cool one around here to use with, got a dog in the picture. So if you got a portrait and a landscape image, this would be a good one. And you're not focused so much on what the message is on the screen as you are, what you got to think of images as is it's attention getting images. That's all you're really after, is you want to get the click. And that's what I talk about a lot on Facebook ads and on Facebook posts. Your image is there to get the click, the same as a YouTube thumbnail is. It's not there to tell the entire story. It's there to slow somebody down on a news feed to get the click. So this one would be interesting. So I'll take some, for instance here, is I'll bring that fade to black in there. So I got that directory, crop and continue. Okay, so it's something about the story. Now I'm going to come over here to the second one, and this is where I would typically change graphics. Let me see if I could pull in a different one here. Okay, this might work. Okay, that's kind of good right there because it's a single call to action, the blueprint, and you notice it's a long, the header doesn't do anything for me, so I want my call to action on that easy to read part, and I'll just center it, hit crop and continue. Okay, so you can kind of see there's a button in here to learn more. You got the dog sleeping, you got, it looks like maybe a lady here looking at her laptop, and then you have a single call to action right there. So again, I would crop it. Let's see what it looks like as 16 by 9. It's okay. Now you can move it up and down, and it's okay. So I would probably crop and save image, and 1280 by 720. So it's perfectly sized right there to go into a YouTube thumbnail, wherever you want to put it. Yep. Yeah. Andy was the guy that got me into video, with Video Boss back in the day. And he passed on, but he affected a lot of people over the years, influenced a lot of people and helped them get into video. Okay, so this is Smart Mockups, and I'll drop the link in on the replay. I can't remember exactly what it is. Let me see if I can pull it up here on my. I've got a second screen I'm trying to pull this thing up here with. Usually Wayne's on the other end sending me the information. So I'm running solo today. I hope y'all don't mind. Okay. Let's go to. Okay, I'm going to drop the link to Smart Mockups right in here if you want it. This is if you're doing any type of branding, in fact, let's look at business cards. You can even show your client what your business card is. This is a really clever way of doing this, is put your name, take your regular business card, and you can put your information on the business card and then send this as your signature. Because instead of just sending a regular, here's my name and address and contact information, send it as an image like that. Some good looking images in there, magazine and books. If you want to look like you're in the newspaper, here's an easy way to look like you're in a book, a newspaper. So you can kind of see, here's some ideas with it. And I use these a lot. Let me see, I'll bring up here. Okay, this is a good one right here. It looks like he's carrying a whole lot of books, and I'm going to bring up a file and see if I can find a quick file here. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Oh, that looks pretty good. This was a PDF I helped add espresso with a while back, Facebook custom audiences. I sent them a design, and it was similar to this, and they kind of took some ideas off of mine and made their own, which I don't mind. I mean, it didn't take any time to do that. So I'm going to center it and hit crop and continue. And see how professional that looks? And it's a matter of 2 clicks, and you've got a good looking site. And you can do these designs in Canva, or you can do them in any graphic tool that you have. And it's a real nice way to show off a book or something, or a PLR article, or anything that you're doing like that, as maybe a lead magnet generation. Okay, any questions on Smart Mockup? Anything that you'd like to see on here before we move on to the next tool? There's one thing I wanted to show you before I get going here. It does have some apparel, not a lot. But the apparel that it does have, if you're doing any Teesprings or Printifies or anything with t-shirts, they've got some decent looking designs. And not to offend anybody, but a t-shirt like this would probably sell better than just a plain image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load the file, and I'll just put the one that we just had up there, Facebook custom audiences. I don't even know what that would look like. Let's see. That's kind of cheesy. I wouldn't use that. But you can kind of see just on this image here is it takes your image and goes around, you know, the curves, and even has the wrinkles in there, just as an idea. But there's some very interesting images that you can do your t-shirt designs with. Now, here's one of the other things is vehicles. It will do a vehicle wrap. So if you're talking to a client, you can show them a wrap of your car. And let's see. Let's make this, this is a pretty good van wrap here. And let's show what our new advertising program is. And what I'll do, this is, I think, one I did for Improv Pile. This is one of my clickbait offers on for a weekly tip sheet. And if you'll notice, not a lot of text. I do have a call to action, but I have a really good image of somebody staring back at you. This worked really well for a weekly tip sheet. So crop and continue. And see how that looks on the van? I would probably come in and let's modify this a little bit. For the wheel well, went in there. So maybe that's okay. Let's see. Crop and continue. Okay. So I would play around with the image itself to go with the outline of this. But if you saw this on the side of a van, it might actually get your attention real quick. Let's see if there's any, this might be a better one to use. So if you're pulling alongside a truck and you see this ad here, and because I can't really click on the truck, let's just use that image. And maybe I would put a logo set in there, want new ideas. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, I would probably use this in an ad somewhere. So you kind of get an idea of this. It has some mock-ups that you may not have ever seen before, and especially your clients, they've never seen this before. So if you want to get a step up on your competition, put your message on the background of a truck or put it on a car wrap. You see there's a bunch of car wraps in here. The other thing it has is outdoor. If you want to look like you're a bigger company than you might be, put it on a bus stop. Instead of Better Call Saul, you might want to put your, Better Call Damon for marketing graphics. And there's some pretty neat ones in there. I mean, I just find Smart Mockup is so easy to use. And in fact, let's do this. I love my coffee mugs. And so I'm going to, you see how many coffee mugs you have in here? Okay, those are the standalones. And let's make a coffee mug for, come back up here and get a ceramic. You may have seen these images before too. So this lady, she just got her big penguin cup. So I'm going to come in here and let's go to, now if y'all didn't get to join the Bit Penguin team, you won't get one of these cups. So each of our beta team members always get a coffee mug. And it kind of it's an exclusive coffee mug you can't get anywhere else. Let's go to, and okay, here we go. Okay, and it's a PNG, so there's a transparent background on it. I hit crop and continue. And that's a little too big, so I would come in here and play around with it a little bit. Make it, you want to make it look like it's a real logo cup. Crop and continue. Boom. So if you want to drive some interest, you see how everything's kind of blurred in the back? So it's just her face in focus and the coffee mug. So you want to keep this in mind. This is a great image as a teaser. You're not telling them anything. All you're doing is you're dropping in your brand logo. So it gives you a little bit high authority is that, hey, at least you have coffee mugs. At least you have a book. You have your product. Yeah, there's some really funny stuff coming across the chat mode now. So anyway, save your image. Of course, you can save it directly, or in my case, what I do is I'm going to go in and crop and do a 16 by 9. This is for Instagram. I would probably do an Instagram or Facebook post in a square image setup, just to give it a little different. And then I'd hit save image, and let's put it at 1280, a little bit higher resolution. Okay. So I've spent about 20 minutes on this is my second favorite tool. In fact, if I have to do a mock-up, I always look in here first, because it's got some really decent quality mock-ups. And if you're doing packaging, come down here, and this is a PNG packaging. So if you want a box, you can have a 3-sided box with, so it looks like somebody's receiving some large item from you. Cans, you got a sippy cup in here. You got some sacks. So if you have a retail store, you want to design their sack for them. So you can kind of see some ideas here. Let's go. Okay. So social media, if you want to show what your pages look like, TV and watches, tablets, smartphones, you kind of get the idea. I mean, it is so easy to design one of these. You just click on it, drag your image over, resize it, and you're ready to go. Okay. Any questions on this before I exit out? Okay. So now we'll go to, I've got one more I want to show you. And actually, I'm going to show you 2 more, but let's start with Place It. And let me grab the link for it if you want to grab it. I got this originally, I do a lot of work with Envato and buying themes and plugins and stuff. And they came out with a promotional on it. It runs $29 a month. It is worth every dime that I pay for it. Let's see, I'm going to give you the link here. Okay, so you got Place It, and that's the link. Now, what Place It does is it does mock-ups. It does regular graphic designs. It does logos. If you ever run out of ideas for logos, go here first. So let's make a quick logo. Anybody wants a logo for free, I'll design one in less than 2 minutes. Give me the name of your company. Susan asked about Envato Elements. Envato Elements are good, but I don't use all the specialty stuff. This is a done for you type system. Cherry Creek, okay. Garen was the first one, so I'm going to use Cherry Creek News. Cherry Creek News. Okay, so I hit next. So what would you say it's what type of industry would you assume? I'm going to guess it's probably something to do with news. Newspaper. Technology, typo. We'll go with writer. I didn't see newspaper in there. Guys, this is what I charge $100 for. As part of a design package. But I don't tell them I'm using this, so I'll give them a few choices in here. And there's some secondary comments in here. Cherry Creek News. Okay. I kind of like this one, just as an example here. Hope Garen likes it too. So we got a cherry, we got, maybe you could look at this as a creek. Let's go with red. Nope. Let's go back to blue. Okay, now I want to change the accent color. Let's look at the accent color. It's going to be red. It's okay. But for simplicity, Cherry Creek, I'm going to put that right here, news. Cherry Creek News. And local news. Or is Cherry Creek, is it a town or a city, or is it just a name? Okay. Best local news. High-end, I'll just put best local news in Denver. Just making this as an example here. I would probably spend a little bit more time on it, but if I don't like this logo, then I can switch to this logo. Go back. I can just kind of play around with the different logos. And of course, I'd change the accent colors. And let's just say that the client kind of liked this, but maybe we had I'm just playing with colors right now. Let's see. Okay, something like that. Let's say that the client actually liked that. I don't necessarily think that would be a good setup, but I'm going to come over here, and before I do that, okay. So what I would do is right here is I would download the image. Okay, 4,000 by 4,000 high-res PNG. This will work on print. It will work on the web, wherever you want it to use it. Now, what I always do is I'll do a landscape because I know they want to put it into their website. So let's do, that's the halfway point. So Cherry Creek News. And maybe I want that a little bit bigger. And let's make it all left justify right there. Okay. I'll pull that up just a little bit, pull this over. Okay. Now I'm ready to go here. So I hit download. Another high-res image. And they may just want the logo themselves. So I'm going to turn off everything. Maybe you didn't realize I'm turning everything off. So I'm just going to center it and move this kind of out of the way, and I'll crop it later. So I would come in here and hit download. Larry said this is maybe looks like part of a poop emoji. So, you know, if my client came back and said that, I would probably say, well, let's redesign it then. So then I would come over here and maybe we're going to look for river. And, you know, you just kind of play around with different things that you have in here. And maybe I would go with back here, Cherry Creek News, and we'll just put it down here. So that's how easy it is. Just kind of play around with it. Now, you probably would not want to show your client how easy it is to do this logo set, but where the brain power comes in is choosing the right graphic logo. And, you know, you can always come in here and change the font style. So within 10, 15 minutes, you can have a really good looking logo. And let's see on the downloads, I'll show you a few of the logos that I've made in the past. And you can get a transparency, or you can get, this is a high res on a white background. So it's real easy. You just hit download for web, or if you want the high resolution, download a PDF version. Okay. You can see this is how I made my VidPenguin logo. Next week, we're going to talk about an Autoblog tracker software that we have that we're using to test out, the RT Army. So I try to practice what I preach here. Is I use this all the time. We'll go, I know I've got some client logos I just finished too in here. You see, I'm even using everything in here. I even did my mock-up. So what I did was I kind of found 3 or 4 different logo mock-ups. I put them on Facebook and let y'all choose which one you like best. Here's a logo I did for a client, a Live Nurse News, and they liked the logo. It's kind of long there, and for some reason that template's gone, but I have Consumer News Network, and I designed my own logo there. So anyway, you can kind of see it's real easy to do your logos. Now let's go into gaming. This is where I get some really good stuff here in gaming. And you can, if you're a gamer, all this stuff makes sense to you. It makes no sense to me. I have no idea what some of the stuff means, but you can get some really great looking graphics in here. So let's pull up Little Gamer Tips and Tricks. So it has some good animated looking cartoon graphics that you could put in there. Okay. Little Gamer Tips and Tricks. Let's go in here. Let's say RSSmasher Tips and Tricks. Okay, and let's come over here and grab a different logo set, maybe. It's okay. I don't know if I want to use. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Do you think this would stop somebody on a news feed timeline? Again, the objective here is to get the click. So this, I would probably use something like this to get the click. Let's see, retro. Let's see what the skeleton looks like. Okay. Might use this around Halloween. And we'll do one more in here. Okay, let's do the alien. Okay. Now, would y'all stop and look at this or click on it if you saw RSSmasher Tips and Tricks? I probably wouldn't make a coffee mug out of it, but I would certainly use this in Instagram or Facebook to get somebody to click through to sign up for a tip and trick lead magnet. So these make great lead magnets. And of course you can change the background if you want, or the badge and back behind it. I kind of like that though. Okay, now what else can you do with this graphic? Well, I'm going to download it. I'll just say download now. And I'm going to take the background color off. Let's see if I can do a okay, yeah. Do a transparency. Okay. And I'm going to download this as a transparency. Okay. Now I'm going to come over here, and this is where it gets fun. Is we've made kind of a gaming deal. I'm I'm going to come back over here to mockups, and Placeit has an incredible number of mockups. Yeah. Scott says wine gift box is out of this world. That would be a cool logo to set up. Let's hip hop mockups. I'm dating myself, but I don't know what hip hop templates are. Oh, that's the hip hop templates. Okay, apparel videos. Let's do an apparel video. Now I did this one time, and it really has a really neat effect. So let's find a good video. Okay, this is a good video for Instagram or a Facebook story. And I'm going to upload the image. Well, let's see. Can't upload if I haven't downloaded yet. So let's go to download. If only y'all could see what other people are writing in the chat box. Okay, RSSmasher tips and tricks. This is kind of neat. I like it. I mean, it's attention grabbing. I may use it for my call to action. Let's see, animated logos. Come back here to mockups. And we were going to do a video, apparel videos. Okay. She kind of looks bored. Let's go back to the girl sitting at the bar there, because I like it's a zoom and pan on her shirt. Now you could certainly do this with wine gift boxes. You could do any, and you could put an audio track with it, but let's upload the image. And let's see what it looks like. And let's kind of push it up just a little bit. Again, you can kind of make it a little bit bigger or smaller, crop. And so it's cropping that. Okay. I think I need to push it up just a little bit higher. So let's go back to crop again. Let's push it up just a little bit higher. And for this demonstration purpose, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Hit crop again. Now, some of the comments, I'm like, y'all need to be writing comedy scripts. Paul said, this is my secret weapon too, but Paul said, was once way behind on a project, so I spent 30 minutes on placing and convinced the client we had been working all week long. That's probably the best comment I've had today on this. That's amazing. So let's add some audio just to give it a little bit of feel for it. And let's see. Just, I need some hip hop music. Okay, that's pretty good. Now you could change the shirt color, and this is how you would change the shirt color here. Let's make it give it a little bit of color on it. Okay, so it's kind of gray a little bit, and let's do preview video. And this actually renders fairly quick for what it's doing. Now I'm used to Revio and some of these others, and Drop Mock, you know, where renders would take 5-10 minutes to go through. By having fast renders, especially on something like this, you could change the color, you can move things around, change the video. What do you think of that? I think that's a pretty cool little teaser for the RSSmasher tips and tricks. So once you're done, you just hit download. Download now. Okay. And then I would come over here while it's cooking, and I'm going to look for, you could do mugs. Y'all have all seen mugs before. Let's look at some home decor. So if you have an e-com product, if you have an e-com store, with Wear It Art and Drive Gadgets, I did this all the time. I would come in here and make my product demos, and I liked using pillows. I had some really neat pillows. So let's look at this here. And pillow covers actually sell really well. You know, kind of like t-shirts and coffee mugs. They're inexpensive to get in. Of course, they go over your own pillow. Let's pull in a upload. And let's put our RSSmasher in there. Tips and tricks. Okay. Pretty cool. I would maybe adjust it just a little bit, give it a little bit more sizing. Make sure you can still see it. Too big. So pull it down just a little bit. Hit crop. Okay, pretty good size. Now let's put in here. Years in the making. And I don't really like that font style, so I'm going to choose something else. Let's see that. 10 years in the making. Let's move it down here. And maybe let's change the background color here. The text background, I'm going to do, let's maybe pull that color. Yep, that's kind of ugly. We'll just go back to black. Okay, and when you're in here, you can also change spacious padding. There you go. That looks a little bit better. And we'll resize it. And what I would use this for is Instagram or Facebook on a paid ad. And I would just say, sign up now for your tips and tricks. Or maybe you could use this as your cover for a video. Now you would probably want a different size, or you want to crop it. And you can add graphics if you want to. So here I would hit download. Okay, so it's out cooking. And let's come over here to my download section. And when it renders the videos, it renders in a really good, in a high resolution 1080p. So I'm going to hit download. It won't take long to download this. Now, we didn't spend a lot of time doing this. What I wanted to point out is if you need social attention, you need, and everybody that's a marketer needs some type of social attention, content marketing, or whatever you're doing. This is the easiest way and the fastest way to do this. Now, here's the other thing is you've got designs in here. I mean, you can do all types of logos and mock-ups. You got designs. So they give you some inspirational designs. And if you want to make a post to get some attention, and guys, I made it, if Bill Marks is on the call, I don't know if he's on the call, I try to stay away from political memes as far as posting on my own website. I made a mistake today as I copied something or I shared something from Bill Marks' timeline. And so all morning long, I had people, you know, objecting to the political comment. I got to the point where I just had to delete the post. So this is more my style is. I'd rather have something very positive, very that would help people, or it would make them smile or make them laugh. I try to stay away from politics. So, this is something that y'all can, you don't have to take a lot of time to make these. And let's see, Etsy banner maker, Facebook ad. So we're in designs. I'm going to go to Facebook ad. I need some inspiration for something to put on a Facebook ad. Okay. See how they've already designed it. So it's 20% less text on here. This would get somebody's attention right here, especially if you're selling cannabis products of some type. So you can kind of see, different things that you can do with Facebook ads. Some of these wouldn't pass the 20% text rule. Let's see. So anyway, that's designs. Now I'm going to show you, this one is videos. I have been making videos for a long, long time. And guys, this is the easiest way to make videos now. If you do a product demo, Instagram videos, slideshow videos, if you've been on any of my Facebook groups, you have seen some of these already. Intro templates. So there's some, I have Video-Os, but I didn't get the monthly high price subscription. So, you don't have a lot of choices, but with this, you get a lot of logo choices. So if you want to take your logo, and I'm going to come back to download, and let's just pretend like the client was in love with our Cherry Creek logo. So I'm going to download this one right here. Download for web. Okay, got it downloaded. And I'm going to come over here to the video part, and I'm going to make a intro video for the client. And let's just pick one in here. Let's see how many choices we have. And I'm going to do a horizontal. So I'm just going to kind of narrow the choices down. And let's see. Okay, we've got breaking news. This would be something interesting to put a logo in. Okay, here's a pretty cool one. Now, you probably wouldn't use Cherry Creek News with an explosion, but upload image, 1,000 by 1,000. Now, I'm uploading a higher image, and that's fine. I've never really had any problems with that. So Cherry Creek News. And let's see what it looks like once the render is completed. Preview video. Now, what I've shown you are the three main tools that I go to on a regular basis. Look at this. It's okay. I would probably, let's look at changing that image. Let's go with the RSSmasher tips and tricks. Yeah, let's make it full. Okay, let's see what that looks like. And you can adjust the playback speed. So you can make it really fast or you could slow it down. Now it's got a little bit of an audio track for the explosion. And let's make the background, let's give it maybe a light gray. Okay, let's see what this looks like. And if you're like me and you like graphics, you like videos, and you like these mock-ups, the problem I have with Place It is I have too much fun with it. Is I will go in there and just play around with a whole bunch of different designs, and I look up and an hour's gone by. I've created a whole bunch of really fun stuff just like this. Now that's pretty cool. I have to admit, I have fun with these. So you got promo videos, Twitch screens, YouTube videos, t-shirt videos. And we saw how to make t-shirt videos earlier. And there's all types of t-shirt videos in here. Let's racerback tank top. These might get a little bit attention here, and let's turn that one off. So t-shirts are very good at catching attention on any type of news feed or social marketing ads. So I do use t-shirts to do call to actions. And in addition to that, I'll use pillows, I use tote bags. Tote bags are kind of boring compared to t-shirts. Here's a hoodie pullover. And you're seeing exactly how I do this, and I typically choose woman. They tend to get a little bit more traffic. Through my split testing, I was able to verify that. Let's choose that one again. I think Place It's working on it. So these are hoodie pullovers. They're okay. I mean, and you know, I don't know if I'd use a hoodie. I'd probably stick with t-shirts and just change the background color of it. And okay. So that's mockups. The other thing that I've used this for that I've had some good success with is not promos, but product demos. Okay, let's say that you have an Amazon product that you want to sell, or you have some type of product, an e-com product that you want to sell. And let's go with, you could do a cutout version. This is kind of cool. Or you could do a reveal. So what I'm going to do this cutout version here. And what it will do is give you several different slides to work with. So it's got 3 slides. And there's the product. And so you've got all this text to play with. You've got your product image right here. And just so where we have a product image, we'll go ahead and go with this one here. And let's do that. And I would use this over here to make my, put my message live there. And because this is a three frame set, you can duplicate the slide, you can remove the slide. So you have a little bit of editing there. When you preview, I'm just going to do the single slide just to see what it looks like. This is stuff I kind of geek out on, is I will, because I know when you know what your audience will click on, you get a little bit better and you'll spend more time on the clickbait, the image, the video. And you don't have to, with Place It and Canva, and SmartMock, you don't have to worry about the technical part of it. You just have to worry about, does it look good? Is colors matching? Is it something that will catch somebody's attention? I mean, that's a beautiful little video. And if you previewed the whole video, it would have a whole series in here. I'm not going to do that and just take up too much time here. So let's close that one out, close that one out. And so anyway, highly recommend it. This is one of my favorite tools to use. And as you can tell, you have probably seen some of these videos or some of these images. Geek Out Fridays, I use it. Memorial Day sale. We're having a Memorial Day sale on RSSmasher. If you haven't bought it, we've got a 72-hour sale. It's going to be 20% off. And it's probably going to be the last time that we offer a discount on the lifetime package. But however, I think most of the people on the call right now are probably RSSmasher folks. So you see, on the Geek Out Fridays, here's what I do for next week. Next week, I think we're not for sure, but I will hit Make More, which is your clone feature. And so when Chris asked me earlier, what am I doing? Are we doing a slideshow? Are we doing a Geek Out Friday? We're doing a Geek Out Friday. I came over here, changed the main color, just give the robot a different color. And let's make him, a little lavender or purple. And Fridays, we're going to make that. Let's give it a gold, maybe. Okay. And then week 8, I'm going to come down here. Week 8 is going to be YouTube automation. Okay, and this little graphic where the stars are, I've got a little graphic color on it, and you could change different graphics in there. Okay, so I am set up, ready to go. Let's change the background a little bit. So I'm going to change the background graphic. Just click in some things here. It doesn't look good. Let's put in here landscape. Okay, here's a good one right here. We're going to do space. I think that's the one that we originally started with. And I'm going to change the background tint. Let's make it, give it a little bit different tint. Sometimes the tint doesn't show through because of the transparency of it. So anyway, I've got my slide made up for next week, and that's how long it took. So any questions on Place It? I've got one other little one that I want to show you. So I have been using PowerPoint since, I guess, back when it was before Microsoft even had it. The very first version of PowerPoint, I was probably a power user at the time. So PowerPoint is my, if I need to make a slideshow for somebody, it used to be my go-to. Here's what I use now. I use Adobe Spark. If you have any of the Adobe products on a subscription base, you get Adobe Spark for free. And Adobe Spark will make a Facebook cover, an Instagram post. I mean, you can make all types of stuff. You can make a slideshow. You can make a video. And that's what I use it for. So I make slideshows and videos. So this one is, I think this was just a page. Let's see, projects. Okay, this was a video I made. So I'm gonna hit, let's just clone this one so we duplicate. And I'll give it a weird name like test copy. Come in here and edit this. And just let's skip past the, okay. So this is a, on the setup of this, it's going to do a zoom and pan, and then you get the kind of the ideas. Each of these slides, they're going to help you kind of say what you're doing. And I haven't even flushed this one out, but call to action. So you can kind of come in here and it's giving you an idea of how to tell a story with a short video. What it is, why you need it, show it, how do you use it and why I'm sharing it. So I kind of like this to help step me through a real quick video. And let's go back to home. And let's see. And project. Okay. This is a slideshow. And actually instead of slideshow, I use the page maker. So it's designed to actually go into a website if you wanted to make a website out of it. But I don't. I use this as a presentation. So you've probably had seen a video. And this is a video that I shot as a teaser about the beta team for me. This is when I had the ugly logo in there. So what I'm doing is I would record a video with Camtasia. I'd turn Camtasia on and just let it run. And I'd use my speaker, talk over it. And I'm using the scroller button on the mouse. But instead, what I need to do is I will use the down arrow. Oops. I mean, the page down button. So I can go through this slideshow fairly quickly, like this. So this was talking about video ranking. And this is using your page up, page down. Now, let's go into what I like using are these little buttons here. See the transition? It gives a really good transition effect. So I will do a voiceover and just using these little buttons. And it's very, very clean, very easy to use, very easy to set up. And then there's the final call to action. And I got one of my coffee cups in there. And guess where this came from? It came from Place It. Let's get rid of I don't need to do a review right now. Okay. And so anyway, I went in and talked about what do you get with this. Okay, I'll just say more likely. Okay, submit. Perfect. Get them out of there. So again, you're just kind of moving up and down using the down arrow. And I made a 3-minute video, and some of y'all are on the VidPenguin team, the beta team, and you probably have seen this video set up. And I just kind of explained. I had a little script that I read with it, and this was just a summary of each little paragraph. And we had a call to action. We had a link in there, and boom. We sold 40 places in the beta team. It was a very successful little campaign that I ran with Adobe Spark. But you can do other little things. So if you don't have Place It, you don't have Canva, there's some other things in here, but I like the presentation and the slideshow on here to make a very customized slide presentation. And so I will use this instead of PowerPoint. One of the main reasons when I get in PowerPoint, just like I do with graphics, with PowerPoint, I tend to geek out. I will tend to, look at all the different transitions, and there's thousands of transitions and animations you can do in PowerPoint. With this, there's not. So I'm not geeking out on the tech. Instead, I'm focused on the message, on the story I'm telling. So that's what you got to think in terms of, especially if you're like me, you got 20 tabs open, you got 3 screens live. Try to minimize the distractions. And PowerPoint is a distraction for me. Place It is a distraction, but I always come out with something really, cool to download here. And I'll spend, like I said, I spend a lot of time in Place It doing fun stuff like that. So I showed you 4 tools today. Hopefully, did everybody have a good time on the call? Walt asked a good question. Ever use Content Samurai for this type of explainer videos? Yes, I have. There's 2 products out there I use, is Content Samurai and Lumen 5. Lumen 5, I think, does a little bit better job of taking my blog article and automatically making it into a slide. So I will, both of them are equally as good. I think Lumen has better video background images that I can use versus Content Samurai. And Spark, is Spark available as a standalone product? I think you could put Spark on your phone or your tablet as free, but to get it on the PC, I think you have to have a subscription. Yeah, it's a toss-up. You know, take a coin and you figure out heads, Content Samurai, tails, Lumen 5. So that's, find one that you're very comfortable, that you can get in there without worrying about all the tech. There's products out there that you can geek out on the tech part, but if your objective is to make a good-looking slideshow video, you know, I use Spark because it's simple and I can do some images with it. If I'm going to do an article, I will certainly head to Lumen 5 and crank out an article. But as far as graphics go, Canva, Placeit, and Smart Mockups are the ones that I like using. So anyway, I'm going to end the call if there's no additional questions, and I will render this out and put it on YouTube, and hopefully we'll have the replay up shortly. And be sure to attend next week. We're going to talk about YouTube automation. That's the goal anyway. So I'm talking with Marcus over at Yive, and we'll see how it goes there. If not, we're going to have another really good topic to talk about. So I'll see you next Friday, and thanks for attending today. Bye-bye.